Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do my full review on the Civivi Knives Conspirator. So you guys may remember, I unboxed 2 of these, and I did immediately sell one to my good buddy, Backpack B. And I bought 2 for 2 reasons. 1, I wanted to try the different versions, and 2, I always get lemons, and I just figured getting 2 would be better. They ended up both being good. There was a slight difference. The button on the Black Micarta one sat lower, which for me as a lefty, getting it like this with your index finger, it was really nice having this one that sticks out a little further on this one. So I kept this one. Whereas right-handed, it doesn't really matter how far it sticks out. I do have my drink here. Aha. And getting into this, I think this is the best Civivi model in a long time. Now, I want to preface that with saying I saw they're releasing a Wharncliffe or sheepsfoot version, basically. Looks like this, but with a sheepsfoot. And if that is anything like this knife, it will quickly become my favorite Civivi, probably ever. Because this knife is fantastic, but having it with a sheep's footy blade, a low tip, would be just utterly magnificent, to be honest. This knife is incredible. I've heard a lot of people compare it to things like the Shaman. And I am not a Shaman guy, but I do have to say it is beefy like that. It has really good feel in hand, and I would compare it, but mildly. This is definitely not as chunky or as, I shouldn't say chunky, as robust as the Shaman is, if that makes sense. But it is certainly capable of doing a lot of work. So I really do like this knife. Let's do a couple size comparisons. So you have the Civivi Conspirator. We have the Divo Knives Stout right here. So you can see it's a little bit bigger than the Stout. This is a 3.3-inch blade. This one's going to be at 3.5, 7.65 overall. This guy's going to be just a hair under 8 inches, I would venture to guess. I don't actually know that. We can grab another button lock, the Malibu. So this is basically your coveted button. This is the button lock that started them all. And I don't mean it's the first button lock, but I mean it's the one that started this craze of button locks. You can see there I have a lot of stick on this guy. I wonder if I turn the button. I've heard that could help. Wow, that did not help. That got worse. So let's see if I keep turning. So I think what happens is you turn the button and it... There we go. That's a good spot. That was better. Maybe I shouldn't have turned it, huh? What's turning, though? That's my question. I don't know. Anyway, we figure that out another day. This guy's a little bit smaller. Again, 3.3-inch blade, 3.5 on that guy. So, yeah, that's been my biggest hangout with this Malibu is just the button stick. The last 2 I've had, it's just been really bad button stick. So, anyway, I believe that's mother of pearl, unless it's abalone, but I think it's mother of pearl. Anyway, sorry. Aesthetically, I think it's a good-looking knife. You know, you got a nice drop point, spear point blade, fuller, stonewash, and gabourtia wood. This stonewash really makes me happy because it's not a bead blast. It just feels good. I guess it's more of an acid stonewash, right, than a stonewash. But I really like it. It makes me happy that it's not a bead blast. So, and then it goes really well with this wood, like the gabourtia wood. The button is nice. There's not a ton of stick or anything. This one had more stick than the Black Micarta, but it's already worn in really nicely. And that's the thing with the Malibu. I feel like it never wears in. I can flick it a million times, and I feel like it never gets better. It sucks. This is a fidgety knife. So you have, well, since we're doing the review, we did aesthetics. The one negative is obviously the clip. It's the Civivi clip, as usual. But in this case, it looks pretty good with the black hardware and everything. It works. Ergonomics, fantastic. You get a full grip. Just feels really comfortable in hand. You do feel that clip a little bit, but I haven't flipped this over because I've just carried it in my back pocket. Having the Stout prototype around, I just tend to carry that all the time in my front left. And then I got the custom Tough Knives reset, and I started carrying that in my front left pocket nonstop. So I flipped the clip on the Stout to right hand and been carrying it in my back left. So it's been a little rough to get other knives in pocket, but it's been, I've been able to do it. And I had this before I got the Tough Knife. So anyway, the ergos are fantastic. You can kind of choke up here, but you are going to climb up near that edge, so just be careful. It does kind of have vibes of a Ferrum Forge knife when you look at it a little bit. I just want to throw that out there. The button design is cool. I like how it kind of has like a flat to it. It almost like divots in a little bit, and I like that. Gives it a really good, satisfying push when you I don't know, it grips nicely to your thumb is the best way to put that. So aesthetics, ergos, we can talk about carry. Like I said, I've carried it right-handed the whole time, back left pocket. Fantastic. It's not super weighty or anything. It is a little bit, big. It's a large object, so to speak. But it carries very, very good. The wood is nice. I will say they are just kind of like slabs of wood on top of liners. There's not much, going on there, but I don't know what else you expect from a $70 knife or whatever. But yeah, it's just a flat piece of wood slapped on top of steel, Cutting. So I haven't done a ton with this, but I swear this thing comes with a mirror edge, by the way. It's Nitro-V steel. I have had no issue with it. I haven't used it enough to really know how well the steel holds up. A lot of people say their Nitro-V is kind of shit. I don't know that for a fact. It's very sharp. I've opened some packages, cut some cardboard. I'm trying to think if I did anything else. I don't think I did anything else. So I don't have a ton of cutting experience, but you guys know that already. On most knives, I don't, beat them up or anything to know. But for normal EDC stuff, it's been fantastic. Again, it's a spear point, drop point, so I do wish I had a lower tip. That's just me. And yeah, so sounds. Fantastic. Sounds are just utterly fantastic. Ting. You get the ting every once in a while. You get great clicks and clacks all around. Really enjoy the sounds on this. All right, guys. So let's get to it. The action, right? So you have a flipper tab, which is nicely jimped all around. Wii does one of the best flipper tabs in the game. You can grab it and you can flip it. Now the detent is not like the greatest detent ever, but it's gotten to a point where the knife just smoothed out so much that it's very hard for me to fail. Like I'm trying there and it's still just getting enough gas to shoot out most of the way. But for the most part, I'm going to go, boop, I'm going to give it a good flick, right? I'm not going to just pussyfoot it just to pussyfoot it. So in that sense, the flipper tab is great. I mean, no real issues with that. But where it's at, reverse flick. It's dialed perfectly for a reverse flick. I don't know what it is about how they set the spring or whatever, but it just has this really clean break when you go to flick it with the reverse flick. I'm sure I could fail it. Oh. Maybe not. No, it's the same thing with the flipper tab. I don't know. It just has a nice break. Like, when it goes to deploy, bop. It just hits a wall. Like, kind of starts leaking a little bit, and then, boom. It just, boom. Boom. Like, right there. You see that? Comes out to there, and then it breaks a wall. And then it shoots out. So, you don't feel much of that take up. Even on the flipper tab, you see I'm not feeling the take up. Let's see if I can make it. There, I can kind of make it happen. But like when you're doing it, you just flick and it feels really clean. I don't know how to explain it. And this is the best front flipping, or sorry, thumb flicking fuller knife I've ever handled. Usually it's really hard to thumb flick a fuller or slot like this, you know. Of course, I'm just failing it now, but you know, you just pick it up, you go to flick it, boom, it just flicks out. I don't know what it is. It's that clean break. I don't know. It's interesting. And then obviously on the close, push button, completely frictionless. You could do the button lock dance. Just feels really good, guys. There's a little bit of stick, but it's not like bad at all. Nothing near the Malibu. And I think part of that is you just have more surface area to push on, where on the Malibu, you're kind of like restricted to this tiny little area on the button. You see how I don't know, it's almost like they give you more area cut out around the button. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, just feels like I have more area to push. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if the button's bigger. I think the button, I don't know what it is, but it just feels, and then the stick is definitely worse. Like, that's the other thing. The stick on this Malibu is just really bad. So it kind of, oh, what the hell was that? Was it like locked up? Was my finger in front of it? I don't know. What the Maybe I'm just not used to this nice crisp detent now. This also has the take up, by the way. It's the first Malibu I think I've had with that little bit of take up. But this one just, that detent is really solid. So, I don't know. This might break in over time, too. I haven't used it a ton. It just gets annoying having the button stick all the time. So, I don't know. Anyway, this just feels a lot easier to manipulate than the Malibu, because I feel like I have just more access to this. And maybe that's just because the button sticks up higher. That's probably what it is then. So let's look. Let's see how high the button sticks up. Yeah, you can see it sticks up. So there, the button is almost like just a little bit raised above the, it's just a little bit raised above the little cutout here. So when you push, you go in, right? On this, it sticks up a fair amount above that. So you have plenty of room to just push it. So yes, you would have an easier chance of accidentally pushing it like that. That's the thing. That's why they do it that way on the ProTech. See this? You can do that, where on the Malibu, it's hard to do that because you have to really push into that divot. Like, I can't accidentally do it. There, finally. So part of that was the stick probably, but this one's just so much easier to do that with. And this one might even be a one-off, because that Black Micarta one I had, the button was much lower. So it could be it's supposed to be lower. I don't know. But I like this one the way it is. So anyway, the action's fantastic. It's really a dream to carry, use, flick, all that stuff. And the only reason I think I would move on from this one is probably just if they gave me, they don't give me shit. I think, hates me because I talk shit on their knives. Is if I got the sheep's foot one. I already told White Mountain Knives when that comes out, I really want one, so maybe they can put one aside for me. And I just think this is a great knife, honestly. It's been a while since I've really, really, really liked a Civivi, but this one's just a fantastic knife. And you know what? If you put out 1,000 models a year, you know, you're going to hit one every once in a while. So good job, Civivi. Good job. I did Loctite this after it started walking, and there is, maybe the tiniest bit of side to side, no up and down, and you can see how she drops. Just absolutely a guillotine on the drop. So definitely a fantastic knife. Highly recommend this one. If I can find a link to it on Amazon. I will link that below. Otherwise, White Mountain Knives will be linked down there, of course, as always, in the description. And if they have some, you can pick them up. Use my code LeftyEDC. So let me know what you guys think of the Conspirator. I think it's Civivi's best work in a long time. So I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.